If you had pulled your parachute in that very short jump, would anything bad happen? Okay. Maybe we'll try it next time. Oh, jeez. Under siege by this fanatical cult, and you as the hero are, joining the resistance to try and push back and liberate these people.
Exactly. Yep, that's what we built. So as you kind of see this, you're going to see Boomer for the first time. You find yourself in the world. You know that this cult has taken over the space. You're kind of trapped behind cult lines. And what you have to do is basically find people out in the world and build this resistance. And it can start with Boomer the dog or any other person that you meet.
I mean, you have to start with the dog.
Of course.
Is there any other option?
Right.
Man's best friend.
Exactly. Well, we were actually in Montana, and we were hunting, and there was it was kind of the end of the day, and it was getting cold, and the guy that we were with was like, "Don't move." We're like, "Okay." And we watched his dog for like 10 to 12 minutes, and finally, the dog wasn't moving. At the end of it, the dog barked, and this bird went, and he goes, "Always trust your dog," and that's why the dog's in the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
The origin story of Boomer
There you go.
on
That's
PlayStation
Boomer.
Underground.
Yep.
You got more than you asked for, ladies and gentlemen. So tell me a little bit about this setting, because we're about to try and liberate a section of Hope
So this
County.
is a small community, Falls End, and what you basically got here is that the cultists come in and they've begun this thing called the Reaping, where what they believe is that the end of the world is coming, and that what they need to do is save as many souls as they can, whether they want to be saved or not. So they come in, they take over the town, they begin to take people, they kill some people, and what you have to do is basically liberate that town and take it back. And when you do, it begins to open up other parts of the world, and you can meet different characters, and you begin to discover the open world through these communities.
And I think you guys want to, well, we want to use Boomer, obviously, but also our friend playing here is going to take a slightly more long-range approach at the beginning of this playthrough. And that's one of the principles of Far Cry, right, is that you can play however you want to play, and there's a lot of
360 degrees, right? I mean, we learned that on some of the games that we built in the past, of building a game and building an environment where you can attack it any way you want. In this case, you've got Boomer, who has the ability to actually tag all these characters and be able to help you figure out how you want to attack.
Okay, so now I believe that there's a bet in place where if any death happens on screen that is not the enemies,
Yes, exactly.
we beat up the driver.
Yep. Max is going to be in trouble if he dies. We got to watch carefully. So he can attack it any way he wants. And what's cool, though, as you can see, is that what he's able to do now with Boomer is he's able to tag everybody. But what's really cool about Boomer is once you set him loose, he really does become a weapon unto himself, and you can basically kill these guys and begin to take the weapons from them. Let's see what Max does.
And this is the cult on the microphone,
that's
correct?
the father. What he does is he actually, he's just taking the guy down. So Boomer's kicked it off, and now he can send Boomer pretty much anywhere.
I think the stealth section is over now.
It's over. Boomer
We've
is
moved
lit it
into
up.
the new chapter.
Yeah.
I like that the dog kind of decided when it was time for things to get.
Always trust your
amped
dog.
up. And there's some gun emplacements here to make matters more fun.
Yeah. So Max is he's gonna tear it up. And you can see civilians are actually getting out. I mean, you rescued a couple people just by being able to push back on the cult. They're gonna get in vehicles, they're gonna act like normal people, they're gonna get the hell out of there. And then Boomer's gonna step in. Now reinforcements have showed up. So now you gotta think about, all right, how do I spin that plate a little differently? How do I get it so all those guys that showed up in that cult vehicle, maybe you can send Boomer in and basically try and take some of those guys out.
If you had pulled your parachute in that very short jump, would anything bad happen? Okay. Maybe we'll try it next time. Oh, jeez. Perfect. Except for all the smoke.
Yeah.
We can't see.
Go,
Boomer!
Take him down.
Good
Nice.
old reliable Boomer.
Yep.
It seems like if you name your dog Boomer, you're kind of setting the animal up for a certain type of life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
A life of action
Yep.
and mayhem.
Oh, nice hit.
Which I would not wish upon any real animal.
Right.
I just want to put that on the record.
So there you go.
Liberated.
Yep. Basically
So
took over the
simple.
town. Yeah, it was super cool.
Just because we had Boomer, though. Anyone
Exactly.
else, I don't know if it would have gone as smoothly.
Wow, Boomer's super cool. I mean, we really wanted to be able to make it so that we had that experience that we had in Montana of you have a dog, it's your pet, you trust it, and it's a weapon. It's super cool.
And do you gain any access to something once you liberate this area?
For
Do you have
sure. So-
another foothold here in the
Yeah,
community?
so this is a community. We actually built communities in the world so that what you do is you meet real people like Mary May, Pastor Jerome, Nick, and when you meet these sort of community leaders, they're going to tell you about things that are happening out in the world, and that helps you basically follow your nose out into the world and do what you want to do.
Awesome. Dan, this looks amazing.
Cool.
I love seeing it. Far Cry 5 coming to PS4 next year in February.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining
Right
us.
on. Thanks, man.
And
Appreciate
this was PlayStation Underground. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time.
Hey guys, this is Dan Hay. I'm the executive producer on Far Cry and the creative director on Far Cry 5. Today, we want to show you the world of Far Cry 5 and introduce you to the little town of Falls End, which has been overrun by a fanatic cult. In Far Cry 5, we want to give you an entire for-hire system. Guns for hire, fangs for hire, and friends for hire. Meet Boomer and Grace. Boomer's your dog, perfect to run out into the world and tag enemies. And Grace,
We got piggies.
she's the quiet sniper. The cult at Eden's Gate has basically taken
Town
over all of
looks like
Falls
a war
End.
zone.
And you and your guns for hire have to take it back.
Where do you want me?
We're gonna send Grace, our sharpshooter, to the water tower to get ourselves
Water
some cover
tower.
fire.
Got it.
You see here are the last remnants of the resistance that tried to fight the cult.
I'm in position.
Out there in the bushes is Boomer. He's ready to go. And up above, Nick. Perfect death from above. Now, it's time to call on Grace to do what she does.
Boom, boom, motherfuckers.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom.
Behind you.
Bang, 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 bang.
Gonna need more help.
I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk, and you talk that talk, you knocks me out off my feet.
Looks like you need some help.
Boom, 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 boom.
Target
Bang,
a
bang,
fucking
bang, bang.
choir.
Boom, 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 boom.
We must atone.
Something is coming. You can feel it, can't you? You can feel that we are creeping towards the edge. I know that you were out there. And I know that you were in pain. But my children, I'm here to tell you that suffering is a choice, and you can choose a better path. We want you, we accept you, and we will take you, willingly or not. And some of you may fight, but in the end, you will thank us. I am your father, and you are my children.
The end is upon us. lead you to the gate. For you are my children, and I am your father.
PlayStation, the best place to play.
PlayStation